What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel today. So Iceman was a huge pain, I'm sure, for 99% of the player base. I know I had a really hard time kind of acclimating myself to his animations because you just don't get a whole lot of time to play these characters when they're kind of tossed at the end of these quests, which I really wish Kabam would give us an opportunity to kind of fight these guys one-on-one. You know, not doing any damage, but just have an area where you could test their animations. But that's a whole topic for another day. But basically, I've been wanting to get this content out on the channel for a while, but it's just kind of taken me enough time to compile enough fights to be able to show you all this. But you've basically got two different flavors of Iceman in the last two chapters. The first one is a strike back node, which that's the one that you're seeing here. Every time you do a special, he gains 1 bar of power. And then the second Iceman that I will deal with is the stun immune Iceman. Now, this is probably, I would say, I don't know, maybe like the 15th time or so that I played him that you're seeing on screen here. It took me a long time to get the timing down for his animations. And the one thing that I was really concerned with is that we were not going to be able to evade his special one. As you saw there, the animation on that is really, really long. But if you evade the very first part as he pulls back and throws the animation forward, all you need to do is just evade that first half, and even though you are standing there while you're getting hit, you know, for the animation wise on the screen, like that right there, you take no damage. So basically for the character here that is, you know, the strike back node, I actually found the special 1 to be a little bit easier to evade than the special 2, just because there's 2 parts that you have to evade. Neither one of them are real difficult if you are, have some time to practice. But basically, just take yourself in a character that has got a decent amount of armor. I use Civil Warrior here. I also use Captain America. I used Hulk. Obviously, Iron Man, who gets a regen back, is a really good character to play with. And that's kind of who I've got loaded up here for the second fight. This is the stun immune node, so you've got to play this one a lot more defensively. Which my Iron Man, I think he's at, he was at 550, but I took him down. He's at 440 right now for this fight. And what you'll see for characters that are 440, that debuff that you get at the beginning of the fight does tons of damage. So if you are going to go into this fight, one, you're either going to need a 550 full health character, or you are going to need somebody who can regen here like Iron Man. Thankfully, this kind of all worked out perfectly. It's just a really long fight when you're dealing with him on the stun immune node. Basically, all I did here is, attack into his block like that to constantly push him into his special 1. And basically, if he didn't have a special, I didn't try to parry, I didn't try to intercept very often, because I knew if I took any damage from him or he caught me, he was probably going to kill me. So I played it pretty safe. This ends up being a pretty long fight, drawn out. But all you need to do is just practice enough to get comfortable where you can time and evade that animation special 1 every single time, and you'll be good to go. Now, if you are using Iron Man, I don't know what has changed, but ever since 12.0.1 came out, when I try to do my special 2 at the end of a combo, it's missing. I don't mean missing, but the enemy has enough time to block. And I have found that to be the case with just about everybody that I'm playing. If I'm wanting to get that S2 in at the end of a combo, I'm only being able to do 4 hits, and then it works. But for some reason, if I go to 5, I miss. So do keep that in mind, because I'm sure a lot of you guys are probably using Iron Man or attempting to use Iron Man for this fight. So I think I may have done that at the beginning somewhere, screwed up an S2. So basically from here on out, I'm just using an S1. So this fight does come right down to the wire. He does manage to clip me right there, and unfortunately, yeah, I'm not able to kill him. But I think that as far as a 440 goes, I didn't even start out on full health. That was kind of a good showing for Iron Man there. By far the easiest tactic that I found for defeating the stun immune Iceman was using Captain America World War II. You're going to need him to be awakened though to take advantage of this. His awakened ability Safeguard grants you a really high percentage to take no damage as long as the enemy has an active buff. And the stun immune Iceman has got a buff on constantly, so you really don't need to worry about intercepting or trying to evade his specials or anything like that. Just sit there and absorb the damage, and then you're looking for 2 windows of opportunity to attack him. One, if you are holding block constantly, the AI is going to want to try to break that block, and he's going to try to use a heavy. So evade back, and that's going to give you 1 opportunity to attack him. The other is when he's doing his special animations. His special 1, just eat that special, and then you can go in and attack. Of the 2 different Icemen in these quests, this stun immune Iceman is way more difficult, I found, than the strike back one for obvious reasons. The strike back Iceman, I feel like there's way more options of characters you can take in to defeat him. Really, if you can parry and you can evade his specials, you know, all you need is just to take in a character that has full health to begin the fight. With the stun immune Iceman, it's a little more difficult. You're either going to have somebody who can take a lot of block damage. You know, unless you're a god at intercepting, you're going to have to be absorbing a lot of that block damage and looking for your windows, you know, that we talked about earlier to attack him in. Or you're going to have to play it really, really slow, which probably you need to go back and watch the Iron Man fight a couple times. You just need to attack him and push him into his specials, you know, while he's blocking. Makes for a longer fight, but it allows you to kind of control everything a little bit better that way. Obviously, not everybody's going to have these characters that you've seen me use, so maybe a few other options to you, which some of these I have used myself. Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange, Hulk, I found all to be fairly effective. Ultron is not a character I used, but probably would also be very good. He has the class advantage, and he's got a double regen there. I think possibly even Hulkbuster might be okay, and I can't believe I'm even saying that, don't quote me. But he's got a lot of armor, a lot of health pool, you know, to be able to deal with that debuff up front. So obviously, you know, if he's a lower level, he's not worth taking in, but maybe at 450 or 440 or 550, he may be a decent option. And if you've got him as a 5-star and haven't used him yet, this may be a decent time to use him as well. All right, guys, I hope that this was somewhat of a help to you. Might as well get used to playing against Iceman. We're going to start seeing him in Alliance Wars on defense, maybe not right away, but he is going to start trickling into defense here soon enough. So get used to being able to evade his specials and work around his cold snap. As always, thank you so much for the support. Thank you for all the kind words. It means a lot. Until I see you all in the next video, have a great day.